So the adventures of Jin Sakai have hit the PC platform finally, and this was something that was anticipated for a very long time, but Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut is now available for the PC. I've been playing it on the Steam Deck, as well as my PC on an ultra-wide display at 34 by 1440, as well as on my ROG Ally. It's been pretty cool to be bouncing around on these different platforms, experiencing what I think is arguably one of the most playable and rewarding video games ever created. And I'll get into it right after this word from our sponsor.
A soldier's greatest wish is not to be working after all. If it helps, theirs was a noble sacrifice for the betterment of humankind.
Laying down arms and surrendering is, well, it's not the worst of our available options. We should just finish this!
All right, who's next? Keep them coming.
I also chose my path, and I will see it through to the end!
Thank you, 505. It is absolutely a beautiful work of art, this experience, from Sucker Punch Productions. And when they were making this game, I think there was an incredulity about their ability to really kind of nail this thing. But of course, we all know it was an award winner. It was a highly esteemed game for PS4, PS4 Pro, and PS5, because they brought out the Director's Cut version for the PlayStation 5 as well. And I think a lot of PC players are probably looking at this thing and Sony's initiative to bring PlayStation games to the PC with a lot of envy and anticipation, because this was an inevitability. This is absolutely a fantastic fit on the PC. And of course, there's multiplayer included in here. There's extra content. It's the base Ghost of Tsushima experience, but there's all kinds of extra features and additions to the game to make it even more value-packed. I love this freaking game. It completely bowled me over when I first played it in 2020. And that was after having my heart ripped out of my chest playing The Last of Us Part 2, and I was just like, oh my god, I don't know if I want to play anything else. And then Ghost of Tsushima was next on deck for me, and it completely knocked me out. It totally took my breath away. So I've been looking forward to playing this thing, especially in portable mode, on the Steam Deck and on the Ally. And even though, as I'm reviewing this, the Steam Deck version still isn't verified, it doesn't have that little green check. It actually has not playable on Steam Deck, and I think that has something to do with its online functionality. But I've been playing it just fine in single player, except for just in the last day, I switched the Steam Deck to my television to see how it was going to run from the deck to the TV, and it gave me some weird visual artifacts, some color trippiness. It looked like some weird acid trip version of the game. All the colors were wrong, and I had to readjust the resolution so it would run better on the TV. Then I got it working fine, and it actually was probably the best looking game that I've seen from the deck on my TV. I've had AMD's FSR 3.0 running on the deck, and that means that I've been getting great frame rates and at a very good resolution, and it scales everything up really, really well. But I had this weird color shifting thing, this weird trippy acid trip version of the game. But I got it working on the TV, and then I put it on the deck again today, and I'm getting that trippy acid thing going again, so I had to reinstall it. I uninstalled it and I've reinstalled it, and I haven't gone back to play it again on the deck since I've done that, but I have checked it out a lot on the Ally, and I've had to run it at 25 watts, which gives you about an hour or less of playtime. I mean, you're just watching that battery just burn on the Ally. It's kind of heartbreaking, but God, it's been running so freaking well. 1920 by 1080, everything's set to high. I had FSR 3.0 running, and I set everything to performance, and it's so silky, fluid, and so much fun. And it's honestly a case of you're constantly looking at your portable screen here, whether it's the deck or the Ally, and you're thinking, how is this possible? How am I playing a game so huge and so gorgeous and so ambitious? Because you're looking at the footage. I mean, this is some of the most unbelievable looking open world gameplay you've ever seen. And it's not necessarily about all the granular detail and the enemies. There are no floating cars or GTA city population. It isn't like Red Dead Redemption where you've got all of these bears. It's about the artistic style. It's the use of color and shadow and lighting. It's so evocative. Every frame of this game is a painting, and it's so addictive to get into the camera mode and just sort of take your shots. Even the opening where the logo comes up, it's so painterly. visually. It's so stunning and gorgeous. And of course, when you transition this to an ultra-wide display and you play this on a PC with a decent graphics card, it's breathtaking. It's incredible. It's like meant to be played with this ultra-wide, very cinematic. And of course, you can play this in black and white. You can play this with Japanese voice acting or with English voice acting and subtitles, however you want to play it. There's all kinds of different ways that you can customize it. And that also applies to the gameplay, because this is a game of picking up resources in a really fluid way. Like, you don't even have to get off your horse and you're picking up bamboo and all kinds of supplies and other items that you can then convert to better armor and better weapons and enhance everything that you have and dye things that you have, so you can make Jin Sakai look like the badass that he is. And you're just taking on waves and waves of Mongols and helping villagers kind of fight for their freedom and chasing after foxes and praying at temples and climbing up into fortresses and sneaking into encampments and taking out people stealthily, or just jumping into attacks with all the different weapons that you have. You've got knives that you can throw and smoke bombs. I mean, this guy and this game is so freaking badass, and it's so tuned. It's so beautiful on the sticks. That's what took my breath away back when I first played it in 2020. It's only been improved and enhanced since then, but I do have to say, as you can see from how this is running right now on the Steam Deck, there are some issues. And if you go into the Steam discussion, you can see people complaining about frame hitches and the PSN pop-up windows sort of freezing or just being black screens. There are a couple of hiccups that Nixxes, the port masters, the magicians that keep doing a great job for all of these PlayStation juggernauts on the PC. I think they've done it again, but there still is some tuning that has to get done. And hopefully this becomes a verified experience for Steam Deck. Because I got to tell you what, I mean, this is one of the coolest portable games I've ever played. I mean, it's an incredible experience. It's so worth your time. It's so worth your money. But maybe you just sort of watch the forums and watch the people talking about this game for the next few weeks just to see this stuff get smoothed over, because you know it will. And when it is, this is open world perfection in my eyes. I just freaking love it. And it's really been profound to jump back into Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut after watching the incredible Shogun series. And not long ago, I was reviewing Rise of the Ronin on the PlayStation 5, which was good, but it ain't no Ghost of Tsushima. I'm going to give Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut a 9.5 out of 10 for the PC, but I know it'll go to a 10 the more that I play it and the more that they tune it.